Hello and welcome to Not Your Mother's Midlife Crisis. I'm Chris. This is my co-host, Chris.
Hello, Chris. It's always so good to be with you and
Good to
look
be
forward to our Tuesdays.
good to be with you as well. I know I love our Tuesday recordings. They're so much fun. Yeah. Today we have a special guest.
Yes.
We're so lucky.
hmm
Today we have Nina Camp. She is a New York-based author. She has been published in Funny Women, Good Housekeeping, and Women's News, to name a few. Currently, she's working on her own book. Yes, it's Predicting Belinda, and she's here to share that journey with us, creating the book and how it's affect her midlife and her reflections about it.
Yes, and Nina uses humor and her personal vulnerability to express what we are all thinking. So, Nina, welcome to Not Your Mother's Midlife Crisis. It is so
you.
great to have you with us.
Thank you so much.
Is there anything that we missed that you'd like our listeners to know?
Only maybe people knew this, but Funny Women is a column that no longer exists at HuffPost, which used to be called Huffington Post. So that's,
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
that was, yeah, so maybe everybody knew that, but I didn't. So yeah,
Yeah.
Funny
I know,
Women.
and you're on Substack. We've seen you
So
on
yeah, I have
Substack.
my
Yeah.
own Substack, which
Mhm.
has its pluses and minuses, but
Okay.
you don't have a lot of access to the world unless people can find you. So
hmm
Yes.
yeah.
Well, when I first looked at all of your website and your Instagram, and I was reading through and I was like giggling to myself, I texted Chris immediately. I'm like, she gives me Carrie Bradshaw vibes.
Oh, good.
Like, I was saying, did you ever hear that before?
I've never heard that before, but I've seen every episode of Sex and the City like 400 times.
Absolutely.
And I used to live my life through her, and I, wish I could dress like her. And honestly, the book that I've written that I have a representation for has been likened a little bit to Sex and the City and Nora Ephron. So both are New York-based writing-based stories, romance and romantic comedies. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm so glad. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you said
yeah.
that. Thank you.
Yeah, I totally see it. I mean, I literally texted her right away. I'm like, I love this.
Yes. And yeah, the article they
Yeah.
did, the articles that I've read and
Um,
the one that you sent
sent
me,
you.
I mean, it was great. Yes. It
Thank
was
you.
like very funny. About and this was about the Ozempic.
Yes, that is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Sex life Ozempic.
Sex life
Yeah.
Ozempic. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, this is perfect." It was
Hilarious.
awesome. And just so relatable. Like, and it's something you have to just talk about it, and you
Yes.
do need to use humor. It
Sure. What's the only way to
100%.
survive this? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, because of course you can't talk about your sex life. You can't get so serious when you're talking about your sex life, talking to yourself or to your partner, because it ruins your sex life. If you have to, yeah, you like. There's nothing more gloomy than being depressed about what you want in bed if you're not getting it. So it doesn't. Yeah. So sexual Ozempic. Yes, the idea that what my understanding is, you take Ozempic and it makes you feel full. So I was thinking it's like my body is making sexual Ozempic, making me feel like I'm satisfied and shutting off when I'm not even beginning to feel pleasure yet. And I'm like, why did everything just go dead? So I have to figure out how to
So
bring. Yeah.
I likened it. My sister had a friend that said, she goes, I feel like a sexual camel. She goes, I can just store things for a very long time
Yeah.
before needing it again.
Well, I would like to feel. How old is your friend? I wish I could get to that point. I have kind of a lot of appetite.
Well, I guess the same thing. She would be like she's probably like in her late 40s. So this is
Wow.
my younger sister, but my sister was relaying the story and we were just hysterical, just laughing. That
She's like, I'm good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't know if she meant good. So
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if she meant it that way.
Mhm.
All right. So you write a lot about your own experiences about love and self-sabotage. So it's so personal and vulnerable. Like, what experiences led you to be able to be that vulnerable?
Well, right. It's always just kind of been a Dear Diary situation. Since I can remember being a little girl in grade school, it's sitting down and writing about my feelings. Obviously, it's going to sound really goofy and silly if you're in second grade or whatever, third grade, but it's always been a way to close the door, take some space, and try and organize and connect to what just all of this chaos and insecurity that's rising up. So it is kind of a way to like, let me put this in a box so I can look at it and deal with it and maybe own it. And you begin to own it. Like when I don't know if everybody has this experience or if it's just the experience of a writer, but putting the words down on the page is a way of owning the thoughts. Even if you don't show it to anybody, it's like you just like put a button on it and like, okay, I did it. And then you put it in a pile and I lose it and forget it where, whatever it is. But still, like the moment of writing about things that I'm upset with is the moment of connection, me to my thoughts, if that's what makes sense. And so,
It does. It
yeah,
makes it real. It makes
yeah,
it's upfront. You're feeling it right then.
No, I like
Good.
that. Yeah. And then you mentioned a lot about women at age 40 and over can experience a reinvention. So what led you to this viewpoint?
yeah. Honestly, this question is really penetrating. You've really opened something up in me with this question. I just came to realize that I did not have the courage to do what I really wanted to do, what I've always wanted to do, until I think I was 48. It was right at the beginning of the pandemic. I know a lot of people made changes in the pandemic, and it just happened to coincide with me turning 48. And that is when I started to sort of tiptoe my way into writing a novel. Whereas in my 20s and 30s, I was a writer, a professional ad writer. In my late 30s, I started writing these personal essays like that got featured at HuffPost. I also spent a lot of time taking acting classes and studying voice, all as a way of kind of low stakes, low radar way of exploring my creativity. And I just realized now what one of the main reasons that I I didn't start the novel until I was 48 is because it's a big process to start a long, like 200 or 300-page book to follow one character through, or I guess other novelists can follow like 30 characters through major journeys, but I got to focus on one person. And during that process, I have to be available to criticism, critique, external opinions. And I think in midlife is when I began to develop the strength to be able to tell when my voice is getting obscured by someone else's criticism. So, and I think it was just easier with the shorter form pieces and the professional writing to take criticism because it wasn't personal. It didn't shove me around as much. But when I started to invest in a story, a long form story, it's like every criticism is like pushes you so far off whoa, I've got all this material. It's going to go this way and then it's going to go that way. And how do I get back on track? And honestly, I'm really babbling now, but honestly, there were several literary agents along the way over the last 6 years, from say 48 to I'm 54 now. These agents took an interest, tried to help me shape it the book into something that they thought they could sell. And there was a lot of helpful stuff in what they were doing, but also I got confused along the way and I had to keep coming back to what I wanted to do. Also, as the result of being ultimately, the agent would disconnect if they weren't getting what they wanted. So it's like heavy criticism, a little bit of rejection, and I still have to figure out, and I'm still figuring it out. I have an agent, but I'm still like, the book still needs work. So I would say midlife. I mean, anyone else, I know that there are women who are younger, that they know that what they're doing right from the start. I didn't. It took me, I had to get to my late 40s to shut out, to be able to find myself within the noise of the world. So I hope that's the answer.
No, it's good,
Yeah,
and it
it's
makes
kind of
sense.
like they called it the DGAF. Like you get to that point where you're owning yourself, what you believe in, what your story is, what you want your story to be,
Yeah.
and it's important. And it may take some of us or a lot of us until that,
Look at us here.
yeah,
We've
until
been
that until
right.
your late 40s, 50s, where you get to that realization of this is what I want to do.
What is my
What
purpose?
is my purpose?
Reinventing
Hmm.
ourselves, and we
Yeah.
find that that happens with a lot of us for different reasons, whether it's empty nesting or a life change or a career change, and, I mean, we've been doing this a year, and I would have never thought we would be doing this.
And to put yourself out there, and just like
Yes,
you're doing with your writing. I mean,
yes.
it takes a lot of courage. I feel like maybe you just develop courage. But what have you learned by writing and experience about intimacy and deeper connections?
Yeah, I learned, again, this is something I learned recently. Like I have to be very careful about how I put these words down on the page, because when I was younger, if anyone finds these Huffington Post pieces from my 30s, like there was just a lot of, it's like a cry into the void. I'm insecure, I'm suffering. Maybe there was a lot of humor in it, but there was never a solution. There was never like real hope. And you can just kind of keep rewriting your misery over and over again and keep playing it out in your life, right? But I've learned recently, like with the sexual Ozempic piece, like, okay, I can sit here and talk about how frustrating this is. But I remember there was a moment when I was writing that piece when I was like, wait, I'm going to delete. This is a really particularly helpless thing I'm saying. Let me delete it. And I rewrote the sentence and wrote, I'm going to figure this out. And I did figure it out because of that. And there was a couple pieces that I've written where I've been very conscious recently of like, I need to use these pieces as like giving myself subconscious cues. Like, okay, you're not happy, but you better figure out how to make yourself happy because nobody else can. And that's from writing, and that's definitely a midlife discovery, if that makes
That's very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
So that kind of like you mentioned, like a little bit of self-pity and self-sabotage. So what are the uncomfortable truths about that? Like, how do you do it?
Pity and self, the
How do you
uncomfortable.
get
Yeah.
how do you get past those uncomfortable truths of yourself?
Yeah, I think life forces you to get past it. I think life puts you in situations where it's so uncomfortable or so in so much pain that if you don't do something, you're going to crumble. Especially
Yep.
in
Mhm.
midlife when everything feels so like when the hormones are like you don't have any support hormonally anymore. You're just raw in the world. And I think especially recently I've had a bunch of situations where I was forced to say what I was feeling even though I was afraid of what the response would be. And as it turned out, the response was positive. Yeah. Getting past self-sabotage is about knowing your needs and expressing them and saying basically, being ready to say screw you if you can't deal with it. That's not my style, but I'm learning how to do that. And I think that's also kind of a midlife thing. I think women should be able
Good
to
for you.
be more like soldiers at this point. Like I've been in all of these battles.
Mhm.
I'm
Correct.
not gonna crumble anymore. So
Mhm.
no more pity, no more self-sabotage. Why is what I'm saying any less important than what you're saying? Like really, like we have to figure it out. So yeah.
It's good
Amen.
advice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. I feel like it is definitely about courage, and it's definitely about being comfortable with yourself and knowing that you matter
We're
and that
all
you're important.
uncomfortable. We're all
Yes.
insecure.
Mm.
We all are.
You've both had moments of like the moment of truth when you had to like fess up to something that you were worried about saying, or you were like that kind of thing, or I'm not.
100%.
Yes.
Multiple times.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes and
Mhm.
yes.
And we talk about things a lot, and I think it applies to most things with that. The only way to get through it is to go through it,
Yeah.
and if you don't go through it, you're never gonna get over it, and I feel like but you have to have the courage to be able to do it.
Yeah. I
Mhm. And the support, yeah.
in relationships,
Mhm.
in parenting, I mean, they've been the hardest pills to
Yes.
swallow,
Yeah.
but you have to do it and you have to find out how to move forward.
Yeah.
So I get it.
And I have to tell you, I totally related, and I celebrated your segment that you posted on Instagram about your chat with the Plot Twist Radio
Oh
about
yeah.
midlife myths. I was like, "Yes."
Yeah.
So I had to ask you about that. How do you see the power of midlife in women? And how can we dispel the myths that you were talking about?
Yeah, I think my take is pretty personal. I think there's a lot of noise out there and there's a lot of information out there, and you have to become discerning what is noise and what is information. And I think that starts with feeling your own feelings, believing them, and then seeking out support, friends that you can talk to, professionals that are actually paying attention to you, or whatever source of research you have, information you have. Yes, the midlife changes are real, but there's such a narrative about what happens to a woman. But every woman is what happens to a woman. Every woman has her own story. So it's a beautiful battle if you want to make it. I sound really great right now. I was crying hysterically over the weekend. I'm not going to lie. Like I'm a basket case, but what could be more beautiful than figuring it out and discerning between what is bullshit and what is real? Because that's like I guess women have a big role to play because we can't get around it. We have to deal with these changes. They're so dramatic. So
Mhm.
we can only come out stronger during
I
this.
don't know how for years they never talked about it. Like
Yes.
how being as open as you're being and as being as open as we have been on the podcast, how did all the generations before us just go, "Mm, zip, we're not talking about it? I don't
Yeah.
I have no understanding for that.
And part of me feels like because those generations before, women, they were just dismissed, and it didn't matter how you felt, and
Yeah.
you were just kind of forgotten about,
Right.
and
Yeah.
I don't
I
know, but I don't know how they did it. I
I don't
agree
know.
with you because
I'm too much of a loudmouth. Like when I have an opinion, I need a filter. I need to like know when to not
Yeah. And
share it.
thank God for that. I'm glad, like, thank God for
yes.
women that don't have filters because I mean, yeah, you're going to get responses. You're going to get a whole array of responses, but you have to, got to be yourself.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it helps to
You're
know
so
that you're
cute.
not alone.
I think it's definitely it's
Yes.
great. And I just expressing like how did they just say nothing for so long? But you're right. They were dismissed. So then it was all fear-based and
Yeah.
insecurity. So they couldn't say anything because they had to act like everything was perfect and nice all the time. And it wasn't, but they weren't allowed to feel it.
Yes.
I mean, I
Okay.
still have some of that. I still am reluctant
Sure.
to say how I feel because I'm not sure if I'm being hysterical or not. Like, there's still that. I don't know if men go through
You're
that.
not.
Do the,
And they do. You're
yeah,
not, and it's different, but
yeah,
and they go through something too. But
Yeah, and you said it before, but and we've talked about this. Your feelings are your feelings.
yeah.
So, you're not being
yeah.
hysterical. You're feeling what you feel.
And your feelings can't be wrong. There are
Well,
no right or wrong with
Mhm.
feelings.
all right, here's my question. I don't know if this is getting off topic, but we all know women who are not being rational and they push their opinion when they're not being rational. But their feelings, they're feeling their feelings. So how do you am I allowed to say how do you handle that? Or like how do you like
I mean, I would say someone who is feeling irrational, you know that they're going through something. Like I
Mhm.
would never someone that is going off and I know them personally, or I know that they're genuinely a good person and they're having some irrational rant. I'm going to think back in my head, something's up,
Mhm.
something's wrong, something's not right. Now, if they're like that all the time, more than likely I'm not associating with them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah,
Gosh.
but you give them the support like yeah, that's you give your friend the support that you know they need. You help them get back
Sure.
to where their center.
Yeah,
Yeah.
listen, we all need to vent. Like let it go and then ask the whys after we're
Yes.
finished. So,
Yeah.
well, speaking of like friendships, Chris and I get a lot of inspiration from each other and from our friends,
Mm.
like our female friendships. What or who has been your inspiration and what are your thoughts about friendships in midlife?
Oh, so okay, so I guess I can think about specifically about my girlfriends in terms of inspiration. Is that like I can take it that
Yes.
way?
Do you get inspiration from your girlfriends, or are they one of your sources of inspiration?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have one friend who's effectively a single mother. She works her ass off to take care of her kid. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has ups and downs. That kid is going to better know how much she loves him, no matter how imperfect or whatever. Like I've never seen anyone more dedicated as a mother and also as a professional and trying to be a woman in the world and trying to, stick up, stand up for her. She has very strong political beliefs and take care of medical issues. That's one woman doing all of that on her own shoulders and also taking care of ailing parents and, a partner, the father, it's taken a long time for they're not together anymore, but they have to raise a kid together. So like, okay, there's a woman how do I not admire all that she's taken on? I mean, I have another friend who
It's beautiful.
she deals with chronic medical issues, a lot of anxiety, but she has more heart than she's the one who always talks me through my meltdowns every time. She manages to pull me out of it every time. Now, I can't seem to do the same for her. She doesn't hear me. So I just let her talk. Like I just figure out like, okay, that I can be a friend to her in this way. And like, I'll try to offer a solution and she's like, no, I don't just listen. I'm like, okay,
She
okay,
just
okay.
wants to vent.
Yeah. So like,
Yes.
okay, just honor that person. I have a friend who's brilliant, worked her ass off, beautiful voice, classical voice talent. Just, it's rough being an artist, carving out a space in the world as an artist. That takes guts and determination and confidence and beauty. She's got everything. I could see her. I admire her. She intimidates me a little bit, but we love each other. Oh, sure. Yeah, sure. I messier friends and more put together friends. And I'm like, well, I got to keep my put together friends because you got to keep you. You got to keep them because it's like they're giving you a like model.
Yeah, you need them all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You definitely
you
need them
need
all.
a
Yeah.
variety is good. So
Yeah.
so you could say that your midlife friendships have been very important to you.
Yeah, and these are friends that I've had for a long time, and we've watched each other, we've witnessed each other over the last 10, 15 years, and that's a freaking amazing thing to do, to be a witness to somebody over these years as things change, I think.
It's a gift.
Yeah, it is.
It's a gift.
Yeah, it's absolutely. And I need them and they love me. So that's friendship.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if really like going through midlife, if you could really survive without your girlfriends or the
I
support of
think
your girlfriends.
I think it
Yeah.
would be really difficult. Yeah.
Yes.
Very
They
lonely.
really are a lifeline.
Yeah, you need the yeah, because you're gonna go more crazy if you don't have women
Yes.
to show
Agreed.
to tell you like, no, that I know what you're saying and I'm gonna support you. Yeah, you're right. You're
Right.
right.
Because it's too difficult of a time. It's too much of a time where you doubt yourself in so many different ways because you're having medical issues and your brain's not working right. And then you just feel so disconnected from everybody that your girlfriends help pull you back.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
We would like to invite you to join us on some of our regularly scheduled segments. And then the first one is, what did I learn before I forget? And this could just be anything that you'd like our listeners to know.
I know. I don't think this is what you had in mind when you asked the question, but what I keep learning and I keep forgetting is that my PMS is brutal. And
That's perfect.
Yes.
whenever I think I've had the worst, I'm like, well, it's never going to get worse than that. It's worse. I'm like, all right, I'm going to keep
Stop
forgetting
saying
that.
that. Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
keep forgetting that, but I'll
Yeah.
just keep saying it. Like, that just happened. That just fucking happened.
Yeah. Atta girl.
Thank God.
Yeah, we always, yeah.
Yeah.
Things can always get worse. That was my motto on things where every time something would get bad, I'm like, things can always get
Right.
worse. They can always
Yeah.
be worse. So try that. See if that helps.
Things can get worse and you have to laugh about it soon. At the minute you feel like a human being again, you have to
Yes.
laugh.
Yes. Yeah, you got to get through it first.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
just give yourself that big hug to be like, I survived this when you did.
Yes.
Good.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And be like, you're a badass, you survived it.
Yes.
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 Well, this could probably fit in that category too, but the next segment would be this just pisses me off. What is something that just pissed you off?
Well, that just pissed me off. But generally, I hate when people use a public space as if it were their private space. When they're on their phone, they're FaceTiming in the elevator, they're listening to their music next to me on the train. Oh, I hate that. I hate that. Like, who are you to take over my space and fill it up with your brain? And I'm like one of these sensitive people. So everything you say is going directly into my brain and my body. And it's like, maybe people aren't that sensitive in the world, but I am. And I hate it.
I hate it too.
No, I agree.
I hate it when it's competing sounds too. Like
Yeah.
if there's someone playing their music and there's another person on the phone and it's like you're just that it's like being on the beach and there's two different musics playing and I'm like gonna lose it. Yes.
Yeah.
And if you remember, there was an older man on the beach, and it was last summer, and he's playing the music he's by himself, playing the music really loud in his chair, like for everyone. I'm like, I wanted to go up and be like, do you know that they've invented these things called like earbuds
Yeah.
or AirPods? And you can listen and enjoy your music all
And-
you want,
yeah.
just yourself.
And I can still hear the waves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you
So
don't,
no,
but you
that's
don't,
a good one, Nina.
oh, thank you. Yeah. If we, and you never want to confront a person like that because well, maybe that's my issue. I need to
Out
be able,
where you live.
yeah, exactly. Not where I live. Thank you. Yeah.
No, and we didn't confront the man on the beach. We
No.
just, we just let it piss us off.
Yes.
Just like you.
And now we're ranting. Now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm. Okay, so then the next one is, what's your letter to your younger self?
Yeah. So my younger self could be like yesterday. And for the last like 30 years is stop worrying. Everything is fine. It's working out. It'll probably work out faster and better if you stop worrying. You have the potential to screw everything up by worrying, but it's going to be okay. Just get that worry obliterated. That's my letter to
It's
young. Yeah.
we've used that like a similar letter
Mhm.
as well at different times. Like worrying about it isn't gonna make it better. It only takes from you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And also creates suffering. It's just exacerbating suffering, which
Yes.
who wants to suffer? Not me. So
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
nobody. All right, we'll do a fun one. So we always do a segment 50 Shades of Health or Beauty.
Yeah. The one I have a product that maybe everybody knows it is hyaluronic acid. Do you guys use that?
I use it, but I don't. What brand do you use?
I feel like you can use it at any brand, any price point. I use SkinCeuticals.
That's who I use. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And I don't like nothing. That is the base moisture for everything. Like nothing will really soak in if I don't use that. So yeah, everything, it just feels skin. And I've been using it for years.
Do you put it on first? Nina, that's my biggest thing is I never know what order to put my products on.
Yeah, I believe you're supposed to. Well, if it's between that and moisturizer, you put that on and then moisturizer. But there's other
Okay.
products. There's other serums that I don't know if they go before hyaluronic
I
acid.
know.
But
There's so many.
no, I'm pretty sure hyaluronic acid, sometimes it's almost enough just to moisturize.
Wow.
Well, yeah, because it holds in the moisture, right?
Yeah,
That's
however that, yeah.
and it doesn't sound like it would. Like you'd sound like you'd be afraid of it
Because
because
it
it's
says acid.
acid. Yes.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
that's a branding issue.
Right. Right. They need to give it a better name.
Yeah. Yeah, I would swear by that. If I run out of that, I need to get it right away. I can't, there's no substitute.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like
All right.
that.
Yeah, I
I
believe it.
personally always love to talk about skincare, so
Yeah.
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm. And then can you please tell our listeners where they can follow you on your socials and any updates about your book when it's coming out?
Okay, I don't have updates on the book. I have the
Okay.
representation and we're still doing revisions and talking to editors. Where can you find me? My website is ninacamp.com and then Nina Camp Substack. So it's just
No.
NACAMP, Nina Camp, like summer camp. You can find Instagram is Nina Camp Author. And then there's a link in that bio to the Substack. So Nina Camp Substack. Oh, and on Substack, I have a new series or whatever column. It's called 3 Things on Thursday. And the 3 things are something I'm grateful for, something I would like to shift in my mindset, and something I would like to let go of completely. So that's
I love that.
it's considered I'm calling it a gratitude practice. So if you look up gratitude on Substack, Nina Camp, gratitude practice, and I try to make the stories personal, so it's fun, but mostly it's gratitude. It puts the sunshine in you from inside if you do it regularly. So,
I love it.
I do. I love that.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
good. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, for the longest time, I did keep a gratitude journal, and every day I would have to put 3 things
right.
that I was grateful for.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It helps. It feels goofy, but it actually
No, it
works.
does help.
No, it brings things to the
Mhm.
forefront of your mind that and it changes somehow. The chemical makeup in your body somehow does change from positive thoughts. I
Yeah.
don't know how that works,
But it's true.
but it does work.
Yeah.
Yes. So do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to share with us before we sign off?
I'm just so glad I got to connect with you both. I'm an introvert. I don't like to meet new people, but I'm so glad I met you and I'm so glad
Yes.
connected. Yeah, it's just thank you so much for spending this time.
Us too.
Yes.
Yeah,
And we
it
can't
was
wait for
great.
your book to come out. Please
Yes.
let us know.
Yeah, I
and
want
we'll
to read
definitely
that. I want to
follow.
read the Thursday.
Great
Yes.
things on Thursday. a
3
subs-
things on Thursday.
I'm
I
gonna
like
read
that.
All right. We'll
Thank
definitely
you.
include that in our show notes. We want to thank our affiliates underalpha.com and Hello Nancy. And you might want to check out Hello Nancy. It's our
Yes.
new affiliate.
Hello, Nancy.
And they have an interesting website too.
Yes, they do.
Absolutely.
And we want to thank our listeners, and please continue to share and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. And don't forget to order your merch, and all the links are going to be in the show notes.
Download, download, download.
Yes.
Yes. And until next week, where we continue to seek answers for women's healthcare.
And support one another. Thank
you,
you.
everybody.